Morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Sun's out where I'm living, so I'm hoping you guys are too. This morning, we're really lucky to have Lucy from Fred Holidays, who's going to talk about some of their luxury rail, and I think there's going to be a little bit of sail in as well. I think that some of the rail trips that she's going to be talking about this morning are, well, I'm quite partial to Switzerland and all of those beautiful areas, and I'm lucky enough to have done 2 rail trips myself within Switzerland alone. So I will pass over to Lucy. At the end, we're going to have some questions. If you have any questions, there is a conversation bar in the call, so do feel free to type any questions. But as I said, Lucy will take live questions at the end. If you could just keep yourselves muted so that there's no interference whilst Lucy's talking, and we'll speak to you all at the end. Thank you. Welcome, Lucy.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you. Today I'm going to talk about some rail journeys because it's something we don't often think very much about. We think of flying and we think of sort of exotic destinations, but I think it's a really great way to travel. Fred Holidays, we are part of that Fred Olsen family, so very established. I've been working alongside Baldwins travel teams for many, many years in lots of different roles, and I love working with them. They are, they're fully bonded. You're financially protected, but also, they provide a great customer service, and they've arranged so many fantastic holidays, I'm sure, for many of you. And the great thing with Fred Holidays is that if there's any of these journeys today that you feel you would like to tailor make with any other trip, then please feel free to contact your local branch and speak to them, because at Fred Holidays, that's the beauty, we can tailor make. If you wanted to do, I don't know, sail across to America on Cunard and then do some rail journeys inside America, we can tailor make that for you. So, there's nothing that is out of bounds, really. So, as I said before, have you ever considered taking the train instead of the plane? We often think like, okay, we're going to go to Rome or we're going to go to France, and which airport am I going to fly from? Obviously, most of you are probably Gatwick, which is my local airport, and that, to be fair, that's what I usually think of first, is the plane. But why not think about taking the train? Let's see if we can tempt you. Leave your car at home. You can connect from your local station, but at St Pancras, it's only 60-minute check-in, and I've done the Eurostar. In fact, I've done it from Ebbsfleet and from St Pancras, and they're both very easy. Ebbsfleet, you can park there, and literally you can just walk onto the station and, go straight onto the train. It's a very easy way to travel. It's also very eco-friendly. The carbon footprint is the lowest, with the exception of hiking or biking. So, it's much better for the environment. It's also a great way because you can take in all that scenery. Once you go, if you're going to go on like the Venice Orient Express, you're going to go through several different countries, and you're going to actually see how the scenery, the countryside changes, seeing people going about their everyday life. So it's relaxing. You just sit and watch the world go by. You arrive at the heart of your destination. So, a lot of the time the airports are quite a bit out of the city. And so usually you have to either get another train into the city, or you get a bus into the city, or you go by cab. Whereas these train journeys arrive in the heart of the destination. And this is a view you won't get from the plane because, like I said to you, you're passing through wonderful scenery, seeing farmland, seeing how, maybe through some small villages. But it is, you're going to get some fantastic photographs as you, glide along through the different countries heading to your destination. You can reach your cruise by train. So that's river or ocean. So like I said to you, most people think about going on a plane to join a river or ocean ship. You can go by train, and I'll show you a few examples. you can see the whole world from the tracks, you know, Rocky Mountaineer in Alaska, you know, there's the Golden Eagle in Russia. So there's lots of different trains that you can get and, you know, see so much more rather than having to fly from one place to another. And obviously there are some really luxurious trains that are luxury hotels on wheels, you know, and you're getting so much included and stopping along route. And so I'm going to explain some of those to you today. If there's an operational track anywhere in the world, then we can organize a holiday, we can take you there. And I've just put this one in. You may not want to take this. This is the State Railway of Thailand, going through a marketplace in Bangkok. Might not be your choice, but it's just to show you a train can take you absolutely anywhere. Your itinerary, like I said, can be made to suit what you want to do. You know, it can include a cruise. It can include hotels. You might want to do maybe a pre or post, or you want to, stay and do some excursions or whatever. It can include flights and transfers and like I say, excursions, or if maybe you're going to in the States somewhere, and like I said, if you want to get a Cunard across to New York and then you want to maybe do a few places and come back to New York and then come back home on a Cunard, you know, we can organize shows in Broadway. You know, no matter what you want to do, we can actually build that into the itinerary. So just talk to your Baldwins travel team and they can come to us and we can fit it all together. So just a quick one, joining your river cruise by rail. You know, Amadeus is a great river cruise company. They are 5-star, but their prices are excellent. They're great for singles because they have their supplement for singles starts at only 15%, and that's booking way ahead. So, you know, it's a great product, but they do the Danube, the Rhine, the Main, the Moselle, the Rhone, the Saône, and the Dutch and Belgian waterways. But the one thing about this is that if you can get your train to pick up your ship. The only thing I would say is somewhere like Budapest, it would mean an overnight in either Munich or in Nuremberg. But again, that's quite nice because you're going to get to see another city. You're actually maybe going to see that city by night and experience, you know, the culture there before you board your ship. Just to give you a bit of an idea, this is a no-fly. This is one for 2022 for Floriade, which is an exhibition with all the beautiful flowers in Holland. But this is a no-fly, and you're looking at, you know, getting your train journey to Amsterdam and back from Amsterdam. But if you fly, it's 1,799 per person, but the no-fly option is 1,699 per person. So again, you know, a great price, and you know, you're going to take in some wonderful scenery along route 2. Ocean rail and sail, you know, people haven't thought about that, but sometimes rather than ex-UK, you know, getting to see other parts of Europe. This is one from Regent, and you can join the ship by taking the Venice Simplon Orient Express, you know, a luxury cruise with the luxury train journey, you know, and it is an iconic train journey. You know, but an easy way because you're going to go through several different countries. And like I say, you're going to be relaxed. You're not going to have to go to the airport. You're not going to have to 2 hours before check-in, you know, get your bags and then hassle out of the terminal. But this is going to take you right into the city centres to join the ship. This is another one. You will have to fly one way on this to Miami, and then you come back to Barcelona. Then you can get the train back. You know, again, it's with Regent, the Regent Seven Seas cruise, a luxury journey. This is an MSC that will go Marseille back to Marseille. Again, you know, you're going to get the rail journey, train journey through to Marseille. You're looking at 1,099 per person. So, you know, again, it's a much easier way to join an ocean ship. So are you ready to go? And I'm going to hopefully give you a few ideas to get you on the right track, just to give you, you know, some something to think about while while you're planning your future holidays. So I've mentioned the Venice Simple and Orient Express before, which goes to Venice. Great way to travel. You're going to go through, like I say, all those different countries through the scenery and end up in Venice. Beautiful, beautiful train. You will fly from the UK to Venice, and you'll have 3 nights in a 4-star hotel around St. Mark's Square. And then you will catch the train back. But Venice, I mean, you will have included a private gondola tour there, which is great. I mean, I love Venice. If you haven't been before, the great thing is that you're going to be in the centre. It's a 4-star hotel with breakfast, but you can catch little water taxis out to places like Burano, which is a beautiful island. It's really renowned for its handmade linens and lace. But you can go to the Murano glass factory, go around all the little back streets. If you are going to go to the Basilica, it's probably best to book your tickets beforehand because it does get quite busy. But this is a great little break, from $299 per person with the 4 nights, 3 nights in Venice, and obviously 1 night on the Simple and Orient Express on the return journey. But it is one of those iconic train journeys. This train journey, the Rovers Rail actually have their own terminals. Their sort of flagship route is between Pretoria and Cape Town. And as you can see here, these carriages are 1920s Pullman carriages that have been refurbished up to a beautiful standard. And you can see here, this is a 2-night journey between Pretoria and Cape Town, but you're going to go through some of these game reserves, on the train. There's a viewing platform at the back. You're going to go to the Kimberley Diamond Mine. You will get excursions included in the 2 nights on the train as well. You'll go to a Victorian, preserved Victorian village, but you'll also travel through the winelands, of South Africa. The train will go under the shadow of the, Table Mountain before you arrive in Cape Town. So, but before you board the train, your adventure will start with a cocktail reception. They've got their own lounges. So you'll start with a cocktail reception. Everything's included on the train, including all your drinks, your excursions. A great way. I mean, for this train journey, we've just packaged something up, the Pretoria, which is a 2 nights, but you'll have 1 night pre the train journey in Pretoria, and then 5 nights in Cape Town. You will have included excursions during your stay in Cape Town. And the lead-in price is going to be $3,449 per person, and that includes return flights to South Africa. So a great way to see South Africa. Instead of flying from Pretoria to Cape Town, take this fantastic rail journey. They also do other trips. They do Swaziland, they do Namibia, they do Botswana. You can take a train to Vic Falls. So, again, rather than flying to these different places, just let these trains, take you through wonderful scenery. Now, this one is the Golden Eagle. It's the Trans-Siberian Express, and this one takes you across Russia. It goes from east to west. You start in Moscow and you end in Vladivostok. You go to Ulaanbaatar. You go to Lake Baikal, which is the world's largest freshwater lake. Everything is included on this trip. The only thing, I mean, it is a great way to see Russia. All of the, they've got everybody goes to St. Petersburg when they're on the ocean ship, and obviously it's beautiful, very grand city. But what you're getting to see on this trip is the old, the villages that may be 1,000 years old. Some beautiful, it's really cultural parts of the country, rather than in the big cities. I mean, it is quite an expensive trip. This is an iconic journey, but the train only, it's 2 weeks that this whole trip will take, and everything is included, as much vodka as you want. It does lead in at £14,000 per person. So it's, you know, it's like I say, it's one of those iconic trips of a lifetime. The Maharajas Express. Now, I love India. I think India is full of colour. And in fact, gentleman is wearing that, you know, which is quite a traditional outfit for the waiters and that. And I remember I was staying in a Maharaja's palace back quite a number of years ago, and the outfits were still the same. And there was a picture, because this old Maharaja's palace was where the Queen stayed in 1954, and the waiters still were wearing the same sort of outfits. But you know, this is a great way to see India, because you're going to see Udaipur, Jaipur, Jodhpur, you know, Ranthambore. You're going to go on safari. You're going to go and see the UNESCO heritage site, the deserted city of Fatpur Sikri. You start in Mumbai, so you will fly to Mumbai, and then you'll have the 2 nights in Mumbai, where you'll get to have, you know, a city tour, and you'll get to see the Elephant Caves and the home of Mahatma Gandhi. And then you'll start this 6-night train journey, and you have everything included, all your food, your drink, your excursions. But you're seeing the main cities of India, you know. And then you'll come back. You will have, as I say, a safari, Ranthambore, which is included. And then you'll arrive in Delhi, and you'll have 2 nights in Delhi with private tours as well. You'll have a rickshaw tour around the old and the new parts of the city. You'll get to see Agra and the fort, the Taj Mahal. So, you know, it is a fantastic trip. And like I say, India is one of my favorite places. It leads in at $699 per person, and that's with your flights, transfers, your train journey, everything included, and your hotels in India and Mumbai. So a great price, and great, and you're in a bubble really on that train, and you are, you know, you're going to get fantastic service, fantastic food, you know, and the train itself it's very colonial on board the train. It's been refurbished to a very high standard. So great way, as I say, to see India. This one, the Eastern and Oriental Express. If you're going to go to Asia, this train goes from Bangkok to Singapore or vice versa. And it's a great thing to add in, because you're going to go through some of this tropical forest, and you're going to see wonderful scenery. So again, you know, if you're doing Asia, why not add this little trip in? Or if you're going to go perhaps to do there are river cruises in Vietnam, Cambodia, when we can get out there, then why not do add this train journey and then just have a little hop across to Vietnam, or to join a river cruise. So as I say, we, you know, talk to the Baldwins team. We can tailor make anything. This trip is, if you are, wanting to stay closer to home this year, the Belmont Royal Scotsman, you have to make your own way to Edinburgh, but this train is part of, the Belmont group. It's a very high standard, it's luxury train. You will join the train day one. You'll make your way to Edinburgh day one, and you'll stay in a 5-star hotel in Edinburgh. The next day you'll join the train, which takes you north to the Highlands, and then you'll go and see. There's an observation car, but you'll go to the Cairngorms National Park, and you'll have a private Culloden battlefield tour. But again, it's the beauty of Scotland, and seeing part of our own country that probably we wouldn't normally get to see. The hotel with the 4 nights and the train journey, which is all included, it's from 3,299 per person. But again, it's a fantastic way to see the Scottish Highlands. Now this one, the Glacier and Bernina Feet, this trip is, you depart London and you head for Geneva. So you get the train over to Geneva and stay overnight. And then you will go along the shores of Lake Geneva. This is all about, and Laura obviously has done Switzerland, but it's all about taking you into the beautiful mountains of Switzerland, you know, the Matterhorn you're going to see. This is a 7-night trip, and you're going to actually go on 3 train journeys. It's going to be the Gonnegrat Railway and the Glacier Express, which is the slowest train in the world. It rumbles along at 24 miles an hour, and it's about 181 miles that you go. And it takes you to St. Moritz, where you will have 3 nights stay in St. Moritz. So, and then you'll also have the Bernina Express. But, you know, the price of this with your train journeys, a 7-night stay, is from 1,449 per person. So, you know, but like I said, and Laura, she's the Swiss scenery, and I think we kind of bypass Switzerland sometimes. We're either France or we're going to Spain or Italy or whatever. Switzerland is beautiful, stunning. You know, look at this scenery and the viaducts that you're going to go and you know, you're going to go and see. So great price for that. Now, I remember steam trains when I was a little girl, because I used to live and I used to run to the bridges and watch the steam trains go underneath. I'm sure quite a few of you will remember that too. And the Harz Mountain Steam Adventure, you leave St Pancras and you head towards Cologne. You'll have 1 night in Cologne, and then you'll head to Wernigerode, where you'll be staying for 4 nights, sorry. And what you'll have, this steam train, you'll have 3 days train passes on this steam train, which will take you all through the German, you know, the German mountains. It'll take you to the highest Brocken Mountain, which is Germany's highest summit. But, you know, to step back in time on this wonderful steam train, a great experience, and I'm sure you can all relive your youth when you're on this. And then you'll come back, you'll have 1 night in Hanover before heading back to the UK. So again, nice little trip, 6 nights from 749 per person with your rail journey and everything. So, you know, like I say, it's a fantastic price, but seeing some wonderful scenery, you know, in that German interior, not big cities, you know, smaller places, really getting to understand their culture and the local villages. This one, the Imperial Cities by Rail, this is, you know, you're going to take in places like Budapest, Vienna, Prague, Berlin. It's actually 11 nights, as you can see, from 1,359 per person, which is again a great price. You're going to leave London and you head to Berlin for a 2-night stay, and then you'll go to Prague, and the beauty is that all these cities have such history behind them. You know, Berlin, you're going to see the remainders of the Berlin Wall, the Brandenburg Gate. You know, Prague, the castle. There's a lot of history. But then you'll head to Budapest, and you'll have 3 nights in. You'll have 2 nights in Berlin, and then Prague 3 nights, and then Budapest 3 nights. And Budapest, to me, is, I don't know if any of you haven't been, it's a wonderful, wonderful city. And 3 nights, actually, you'll need that to see the different parts of the city. There's Buda, there's Pest. You know, if you've done a river cruise, then you may well have been here. But it's you know, the older part of the city is Buda. Pest side has more of that Art Deco. It's more lively in the evening. But you've got places like the Jewish Quarter. You know, you go up to the Liberty Statue. You have, you know, like I say, the old part of the city. And you could do some trips, you know, a little way out of the town. But one thing I would say, if you're in Budapest, is always it's a must. And I did it in November, and it was freezing, but it was a great experience, is to go to one of the baths, because you'll see the local people there. they're sitting on the side of the bars playing backgammon, or they might be playing chess, just having a chat. But it's very much, there are local people that go there as well. Then you'll head on to Vienna, where you have 2 nights stay. And again, Vienna is one of those beautiful cities, easy to walk around, lots of churches, lots to see there. With all of this, you will get some included tours. And one of the trips in Vienna you will have is a classical concert. And I would say that although I'm not a classical music lover, what made this special was the fact that you are getting to see wonderful palaces. Your concert is going to be inside either a wonderful palace or a concert hall, high ceilings, the sound reverberates. But quite often you're going to have these beautiful frescoes. You're going to go up the stairs, the marble staircase into the concert hall. It will be opera, it'll be ballet, and you will have the orchestra. So you'll have a real mix. But this is all, this is the city of Mozart and Strauss. So you're really going to, get the feeling of being in that city and understanding what it's all about. The Spanish riding school, go and see them as they train in the morning and teach the horses how to do those wonderful things. And the cathedral, St. Stephen's Cathedral. So, a great way to see these cities. Maybe you'd like to do them at Christmas time when all of them have these Christmas markets. But, the lead-in price for this is 1,359 per person for 11 nights. And like I say, you have got some trips included there. So, and your hotels and your train journeys. So, a really nice way to see those cities. This one is in the south of France. And this one is, you actually get the train. You get the train and head to Clermont-Ferrand. You're actually going down through the heart of the French sort of Auvergne region. You'll go to one of the oldest cities. First of all, Clermont-Ferrand is one of the oldest cities. And then you'll head to Nîmes, which is it's a Roman city. So you'll go to Nîmes, and there's a sort of amphitheatre and everything. And then you'll head down to Nice, and that's where you're going to stay for 3 nights. You're going to stay 3 nights in Nice, and you'll be able to go. There'll be an excursion to Monaco and Eze, and then the Fragonard Perfumery. So, again, it's a lovely way to go and see the south of France rather than flying, and getting to see somewhere a bit different. You'll go through the national parks and the Cevennes Mountains. Great price again, 989 per person for 7 nights with all your accommodation. But you have got bed and breakfast here. But the beauty of all of these trips is you're going to get to taste the local flavors, particularly in the south of France. If you're in Monaco, you might want a nice lunch, just seeing how the other half live. So yeah, just really giving you a few examples of some of these wonderful train journeys. So thank you for joining me this morning. Obviously contact your local branch if you want to discuss any of these. But I just think that rail journeys are a great way to travel.